So guys, welcome to another video of mine. This time actually it's going to be in English again. Yes, I know, because this is the second part of the triple that is going to be casted in English. Pro games as usual, and thankfully we have a few guys that first of all play on. I just wanted to say a high level, but no, Ezra is actually I think top 4 or top 3 right now, so play on the highest level when it comes to 1v1 supremacy. And yeah, I'm really happy to cast this game. And what we can say about the matchup player-wise, Ungurs and Ezed. Ungurs, I think they most often call him the most improved player of this last year, which is probably true. He made quite the jump start. He's now in the top 10, top 20 in that direction, depending on how it scales at the moment. Ezed's, well, has been on top of the game for quite some time now, always been up there, especially I think in team games he's been leading team games for or feels like eternity now, with quite the lead actually, but that is not too important. What is important here is that the matchup is also interesting, and the map of course is interesting, because we are playing on, and now of course I don't remember what the map is called, but you guys will figure that out and just post in the comments so I don't look like an idiot, please. Well, back to the game itself. What I want to say is, when I talk about the map being interesting, so first of all you have a TP line, which is great for Germany of course, optional for India, but usually you don't go for a trading post depending on the strategy. But what is interesting is that you don't have a lot of space to build your buildings, to build forward bases and all that stuff, because as we can see here, all over the places here, there's a lot of water. There's a lot of swamp around here, so that means that those guys have to focus, if they want to build a forward base, they have to focus on this part of island, this part of land here, especially for Ezed's forward aggro. I assume that is going to be forward. I don't know yet, but I assume that is going to be there. And matchup wise, Germany against India is, in my opinion, is Germany favored. If India can't make anything happen in H2, if India can't damage the German player, then Germany can just go up to the third H, where they have their super strong units in general, with which they can, can just definitely kill the Indian player. Although India has rather strong units in H2 already, and has access to a full unit roster, so they have skirms and goons in H2. But they don't really have the resource production yet. They scale well in the mid to late game. In the early game, they're sometimes a bit slow, or feel a bit slow, I'd say. But enough talking at this point. Let's just start into the game, guys. So, and of course, we see classic start for Germany, I assume. So we're gonna get enough wood, enough food for one skirm, for one settler, for one villager, and yeah, we see that. Then, 2 on wood. Because, we got another wood treasure here. That is a neat pickup right there. Because with that, if you remember, the German start is basically you want to get 175 coin and 125 wood. No, wait. 150 wood. There we go. Because then that enables you to build a house, a market, hunting dogs. And the German economy already gets kick-started by a stronger villager shipment in H1. Also a stronger village shipment than most other civs in H2, and then your early economic bonus just skyrockets, or the skyrockets just snowballs from there on, if you get to keep your village alive, that is. Ezra, on the other hand, if you can pick that up, that's also quite neat, because that's a free house for him, and it would also be almost an entire villager. Oh yeah, the herding, good job here. You see that the giraffe right beneath the town center, basically. On the other side, Ungar is going up there. Maybe we're going to see treasure contestation about here. 80 coin. I'm interested in who's going to win that one, because let me take a look. Ezed does not see it. Ungus does not see Ezed, so that might go bad. I mean, he's kiting wonderfully. No questions about that, but can you shoot him once more so it doesn't reset? Yeah, well done. You see that is kiting at top level. Oh, and there we go. And that is so sneaky from Ezed. He's just standing there, and there you go. Oh, take it, good. Really well done from Ezet. And the next good thing is that even though the Explorer from Germany snares Ezet, the Explorer can't, I think, infinitely snare him. Especially if the second Explorer comes down, because those guys have speed of 5. And now he just pull tricks him out of there. That is a neat move. That is just, you start to see these things at that level, or you start to see these things. If you see these things, it's just a joy to watch, in my opinion. It might sound a bit weird, but you know how, if you realize how much dedicated micro and how much attention and game knowledge that requires to just in that situation be aware that you can get your other Explorer over there in order to get him close and pull your Explorer out of the snare from the German Explorer unit. That is just beautiful to see, in my opinion. So I'm really hopeful for us to have a beautiful game here. We are actually no, we're going to 17. I sometimes see 16 village up with Kaiser's Germany, which is so really strong, in my opinion, because Germany, if they have an even better timing than they usually have, that can be incredibly strong. But you usually don't see that because it's just so hard to get there. And Ezad on the other side, I'm really interested in how he's going to get up, but his food count actually looks quite promising. I think that wood treasure just really pushed his macro to the point where he wants it. And we have one villager forward here, so maybe we'll see a fort here or here, but I presume that it's going to be over here, just because that one vill is standing. Yeah, there we go. There the fort goes down. Usually I would say maybe not my most favorite position, but actually what it does is, if you think cone-wise in that direction, right, so here, back here, and to that side, it kind of protects also the resources that are behind it, just by enabling, by giving Ezet quite a line of view, or quite this, yeah, quite a field of view. And that means that if there is a raid, and well, it's Germany, so there are going to be raids, we should be able to spot those early on. So decent positioning here, I think. Yeah, and Germany going for the TP, and you see he's already positioned the Explorer over here, so he can immediately build it once he thinks about it. Yeah, there we go. That is something that also a lot of players don't do on my elo or lower elo still, so around 1350, 1400, I'd say, because you lose a lot of time and a lot of Explorer time as well if you don't do that. And also with Germany, you see that that's the trader, and he might just get it up in time to get that trade. Actually, see that? That is going to be so beautiful, because Germany, as we always say, has really strong shipments, probably the strongest shipments in the game. On the other side, they also get them slower because they have Ulans with their shipments, so that is kind of to balance the whole thing out. But in the end, oh yeah, that is also a nice treasure there. What do we have? So in the end, getting that one pass, of course, doesn't win the game, but gives you an advantage in the area where you really want that advantage. So you want to get as much XP as you can. So, and 200 wood. What is he macroing for? Oh, he's probably going to do a barrack start, a defensive one. Yeah, there we go. That is one of those that we actually explained in the video from Toby, or with Toby rather. It's our video series about openings, and he explained this German opening basically, which is a defensive opening. And Ezed still doing a fantastic job. All those herds close to the TC, I really like it. First card, of course. Yeah, 3 settler wagons. Who would have guessed that? Surprise. And we have sepoys from Ezed. Also quite a surprise. The point is, what I said before is, India has... They really need to put down some damage on Germany. Otherwise, a Germany without... A full tempo Germany, so now I finally get the words. A full tempo Germany is just too strong for India, in my opinion, in the direct comparison. If they've got the tempo, and if they have the eco behind it. But I mean, they don't even need that much eco because they've so incredibly strong. Oh god, who's gonna get it? Oh, that was strong. That is going to go to Ungars. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was really strong. Germany has shipments of incredible value, and those alone can actually win the fights for Germany. They don't even need to have that good of a economy. But what you can always do against Germany when they can't defend themselves, just take down some houses, because they usually don't want to chop for wood, except if they do a defensive start like this one. Yeah, and he's actually quite heavily investing into a wood army here, in my opinion. Let's see. Yeah, we've got 4 Uhlans, alright. 10 crossbows, which should be more than enough to deal with the sepoys so far. I mean, those guys are pretty chunky with 180 health, but still, at the end of the day, it's not going to matter if Germany, you know, utilizes their eco advantage right now. I'm pretty sure, yeah, see that? We have steel traps already. And we should also have placer mines, whatever. Nope, don't have that yet. Are we getting it? Nope, not getting it either. Oh, pikes coming in. Very good choice, in my opinion. Or at least some pikes. Just in case, because those Uhlans are not going to hold up forever. And there he goes, he takes the second. There are always, I think there are always 2 of those big hippo treasures on the map. And 190 XP is just, that is Germany's wet dream, basically. I don't want to be inappropriate, but that is what they're really hoping for. To get some more XP out there. To get some more XP in, basically, and translate that into a quicker H2, because H2 is not what Germany wants to stay, usually. I mean, if they take good fights, they can win in H2 as well. No questions asked about that. But Germany, a Germany that is not going for H... not yet reset. Okay, first we're going down, not too bad. But the army composition might be a bit problematic, because there's just not enough sepoy in there to effectively deal with the pikes quick enough and deal with the Uhlans. Look at that army right there. 10, 10, 6. So that is a population of 32 military. On the other side we have 10 sepoys and 4 Sova, so 18. Oh, he's actually... Did he build a stable? Oh, he built a stable. Stable start. Alright. That makes... Interesting idea. I think he needs that to deal with crossbowmen more effectively. But actually what he needs here is... He needs more sepoys. I think those... I think those guys just counterplayed each other. To the point where it's a bad matchup for India again. Because... Ungurs has enough anti-cavalry to easily take this fight, in my opinion. And Ezard on the other side, he thought that he might be confronted by a big crossbow mass, because that is what you usually can do against a sepoy heavy India. But since he started with the stable and mixed in more sepoy and more Sovas to fight the crossbows, those pikes are actually going to be incredibly effective. And look at that now, trading back and forth, not getting a hit in melee, but tanking the damage, and then being annoying. Yeah, more damage on those units. Yeah, that Uhlan half dead. But not really the damage that India was looking for here, in my opinion. They idled, yeah, but Germany is already going up with the Exile Prince, so they're going to be up in a few seconds. And there, one sepoy, that sepoy is not going to survive. If, yeah, the other one died. That's what... No, it wasn't actually the other one. Wait, yeah, we have 3 sepoys in there that are rather low HP, which is, well, not what you want, to be honest. And there we go, H3 for Germany. They have, oh, they can send through a shipment, yeah. And now we see something that Toby has also been talking about, war wagons in H3. A unit that was for a long time, I think, rather underappreciated, or I did not see it that much. But nowadays it's quite present on the map and on matchups, because one thing they have over most other most of the goon units is the range. They have a decent speed, so they can run musks without a problem. They can't, I think they can't fully run from cavalry, but we'll see about that in a second. But the point is, they can with 16 base range outrange any musketeer and just kite them to death, even though their kiting animation is a bit shitty, to be honest. But it doesn't matter because their speed is just so high. Take a look, 16 range, 500 life points, 42 attack, which is insane. Melee modifier, so actually ranged units are going to do full damage, but if that wasn't the case, then those guys would be basically OP. If you gave them 20% ranged resist, you couldn't fight them with skirms, and then you're done. If you can't fight those things with skirms, then you're completely... then that's it, basically. Ezzard, at the same time, still going for an H2 army. So lots of Sovas and some Sepoys. Also mixing Rajputs. Haven't seen those guys in quite some time, actually. But I assume... what I have been seeing lately, a bit more often at least, is that some melee units are mixed into the whole army composition, just in order to make the fight a little bit more hurtful to the enemy when he goes in with cavalry. And against Germany, that is actually quite useful, because those Uhlans, they do a whole bunch of damage, so really strong unit. But at the same time, those guys they fall rather quickly if you put damage on them. That is a problem. So those are not if you compare it with Hussars, right? Those guys can tank damage. Uhlans, not so much. Yeah, that looks like the first dead villager for Ezzard. 37 villagers to 25, or to 32. So eco-wise, much better for Ungus, I think, if you got the market upgrades. And it looks good, yeah. But back to the fight. Yes, that is a good shot. Pikemen actually going down, but the problem that Ezzard has at this point is not so much the pikemen anymore. We have 1, 2, 3, I think 6, yeah, 6 war wagons, and those guys are going to just make short work of all the Sovos that go in there. And without that, well, look at that micro. He's actively focusing all the pikes, really preventing damage on the Sovas, but that is just, the Sova Mars is not going to do him that much good, I think. And now see, sacrificing Ungus is using his Uhlans to kind of shield for his infantry mass there. And a difficult position right there. There's still some Sepoys out there. Oh, but the Sepoy Sovas, the Sova shipment is going to come in. And if the Sepoys manage to shoot out more war wagons, then this might actually be a good fight. Oh, but it's close. They didn't even kill them with that shot. They focused on... oh, yeah. They killed them. Okay. But they need to put out those guys. Oh, my God. Look at that. There's one of those melee guys still in there. One Rajput was at least alive a second ago. And look at that. That is 900 resources on the ground right there. Rotting in the swamp. I mean, if you look at the score, of course it looks a bit bleak for Ezzard, but eco-wise, look at that. Oh no, he has been raiding with Bustanchi. How good was that? I absolutely missed that. I'm really sorry, because those guys, there were 3 of those at the beginning, I'm pretty sure, but 23, so at least 2 Wilds dead. Could even be, how many? Yeah, one of those, so 3 Wilds dead. So now only 30 Wilds for Angus, and actually 41 Wilds for Ezzard. So if Ezzard can manage to hold himself here and kind of survive the storm that is Age 3 Germany. Just take a quick look at the shipments that Angus has so far. Yeah, he put through those 3 shipments, so halfway done with the 3 unit shipments, I'd say. And if Ezzard just has a way to deal with that, his eco should scale much better. Just take a quick look. Yeah, coin now, the second upgrade on coin. Food also looking quite healthy, not maxed out yet, but quite healthy for India, of course. Just one problem that I see here is that, you see that? All those hunts somewhere out of base, not really safe. That might be a problem. And if that coin one up here gets raided, that could be GG. If he's down here with army, and at the same time Uhlans are going, and while I'm saying it, I see the Uhlans coming back. Oh god, please don't tell me that is going to happen. Oh, there's Sovas. That is good. Those guys could actually catch the Uhlans and deal with them rather effective. Yeah, rather effectively is the wrong word. 44 damage. Okay, nope. Those are veteran. You can't deal with those. Get out of there. Alright. And there we see it's big evacuation. But, oh, he forgot the main part. He can't evacuate those guys because they... Oh, that is going to be so bad. All the high DPS units up there killing builds from Ezzard, and that might be just the game deciding fight up there. I mean, it's not much a fight. It's just rather slaughter, to be honest. But yeah, actually some Zams coming up as well. I don't know if that is the unit composition that you want to go for, because Zams are just rather, I think, look at the cost, 60-60, and they will die really quickly. I'll leave you that. Ah, come on. But actually, some vills made it out. 25 to 39. Wait, how? He killed more than 2 or 3 vills up there, didn't he? What the hell? But again, in my opinion, for the fact that Ungus had the worst Azad had the worst composition in my opinion. Not because he made a mistake, but rather because, well, it's H3 units. Proper H3 units against H2 equivalents, basically. Yeah, that guy's dead as well. The Vil helping finishing the job. And there the skirms go down. Actually, the Zambraks in melee, and that is not a bad thing because those guys don't get hard counted by the war wagons, so they can afford to be shot at basically. 42 damage, so those guys actually are, and slowing them down again. But more war wagons coming in. This might this could end badly because those guys can just go after the sepoys over there as well. And now we have a war wagon master we hold, and behind it veteran Uhlans. So Unger is focusing on war wagons because he knows that India now don't really have a decent answer to those units, because those guys, they counter cavalry and they counter muskets. So the musk-husk combination from Azad is not going to be as effective here. And we see that Azad is also, he has lost quite a lot of access to food. Now herding in the wrong direction, probably because of the herd itself, but you never know, right? Ah, what a dicey position to be in, a spicy position to be in, because those units, 42 damage, even the sepoys can't deal with that, especially because of the range. Those guys can just turn around again, look at you, shoot you in the face, and go on again. Basically, those guys are the definition of a drive-by unit in this entire game. If there's a drive-by unit, it's those guys. Or the Gatling cannons, but don't talk about those fellas, please. Yeah, and the Zam's doing a job, I'd say. But those are also getting countered. Why? Because of the range. That is the problem. The strength the war wagons have lies in their speed combined with their range, and especially the range combined with their high DPS is insane if you use them right. And of course, we're talking about Ungus here. He is using them more than right. And now it looks, take a look at the points, the score difference, 5,000 points ahead, and an age ahead as well. So, I don't really know how. Oh, wait a second. What? Ooh, those guys, if they get in there, they could actually do quite a lot of damage. But just not enough HP. But one big advantage they had in this fight, because they killed 4 or 5 Uhlans. That was really good and absolutely necessary for Azad. The point is that those guys only fire at the speed of a musket, and melee units, of course, hit faster than that. So they can actually dish out quite a lot of damage. But now we have skirms, and skirms are going to just finish another batch of melee infantry if Ungus pays attention. But we also have a sepoy batch coming in now. Are those a bit out of position? I don't know. But the 4 is not going to hold up very much longer. 4,000 points score lead now. Militiaman coming out, and now he tries to go for a good pop, but I think the timing is a bit off, because you see they're not coming out all at the same time. His units don't arrive there, and now the muskets come in. And they are going to be dead in a matter of seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, and dead. And I think at this point, that's bad for Azad. I don't think he can come back from this, even though he really killed quite a lot of high value targets. A lot of the veteran Uhlans are dead by now, and if we look at Unger's, he does not have any unit shipments behind that anymore. He has those those mercenary shipments, but it was just enough. That is what I mean. The flood that is German Age 3 was just too strong for Azad to deal with, and he was not able to slow down or to hurt the German player enough for himself to be safe in the fight. Yeah, and those guys, yeah, I have to flee again, and now we see there's basically no place for Azad to get any food anymore, except for the berries, and that is of course not where you want to be. One good advantage that they have, so that India has on berries, is that they upgrade, or some of them actually work for food as well on berries, meaning that you can use those a bit more efficient than a German player, for example, if you would go on berries. But he doesn't need to. Oh well, maybe now he does. kind of a payback action here from Ezard, but there we go, veteran Uhlans, and those guys now with also with Cav combat for 50 damage, yeah, and there goes the GG from Ezard, basically. Really pretty game, and that is what happens in the matchup Germany-India if India lets Germany go to the third age without any proper damage done, basically. I'm not saying that it was Ezard's fault, but what I mean here is that Ungar's actually, he kind of, I don't know if he predicted it or if he just precautiously built those pikes, but I think those pikes was what won him the fight in H2. If he had gone for more crossbow heavy play, in order to, if he prepared for more sepoys, right, then I'm pretty sure that Ezard would have slaughtered him there. Because in H2, Uhlans are good, but if sepoys fire at Uhlans while they're fighting with Soas, then those guys are going to go down, and then the only thing that's left is crossbows, and Soas eat crossbows for breakfast. 2 times damage modifier, so no questions asked about that, how the fight would have gone then. But of course, that did not happen. And the game goes to Ezard, to Ungars. Let's take a quick look at the resources. Yeah, 5,000 more resources for Ezard, of course, but look at this. 5,000 more resources in cent units, or in free units, if you want to call it that. So, rather even, again. Military-wise, yeah, I think we see what happened here, right? 192 to 99, a 2-to-1 kill-death rate almost for Germany. And actually not such a bad kill-death rate for Ezard, but I think there's also a few other units in there. Or the counter does not work correctly. Sometimes that thing backs out as well. And yeah, let's take a quick look at villager population, because that's always interesting to see, because you can't always tell exactly from just villager numbers with Germany. You see, Ezard consistently training villas throughout the entire game, just here and maybe one here and here, maybe one just short stop. No, wait. This has to be, I think there was a shipment in between, but yeah. Don't worry too much about it. What I meant by better vill shipment for Germany, by the way. You get 4 villas with the first shipment, and with the second vill shipment, so 3 settler wagons is basically equal to 6 villages. And there is no other civ that has access to 6 villages with a card like that in second age. Yeah. Solid age 3, while still being heavily defended by a wood army, so just shy of 9 minutes, I think, just a bit, yeah, bit before that. So really decent timing in my opinion, when you keep in mind that he built a huge army to defend himself. On the other side, Ezard's really going strong with the units, and then we have the raid up there. Oh, he was in 45, yeah, 6 vills going down there, and yeah, the problem was not that he did not have the economy, or the economic power in theory, but actually, in reality, he was just completely off hunt and had no chance to recover from that, because, yeah, the German player put so much pressure on him that he just wasn't able to take anything back, or to get a safe hunt under his TC again. Military units, yeah. Look at that fight, actually. The first fight, 59-73. I thought that this was a better trade for Ezard, because Germany had so many and so much better units. But actually 55, 70, so 50 units here, 59 to 15, so, well, 44 units. Somewhat close, but of course against Germany you don't want to lose that many units, because they can just remass easily with their shipments. 24 goes up to 42. Yeah, 1 shipment. Sure. That is 9 Ulan shipment, by the way, just saying. And then again, this fight was absolutely disaster. An absolute disaster for Ezard. And of course it was, because the war wagons, all that, the damage they dished out, that was just insane. While also killing villages, so Ezard was kind of forced into the engagement to protect the rest of his economy, to not be thrown out of the game immediately. But still. And then we see 65 at the same time, Ezard with 10. And he tried to pop here and tried to pop here, but it just didn't mean anything anymore, because the German player had so much more units than countless units, basically. And yeah, really strong game for both players. I really enjoyed casting it, and thanks to Ezra, by the way, at this point, for uploading it into the replay text channel in the Age of Empires community Discord. That was really helpful, and I'm glad that we're allowed to cast those games, because, well, if I play my own games, I just don't get to see that kind of gameplay, do I? So, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed as well. Let me know what you think of the English videos, by the way, in the comments. I had some really nice feedback from most of you guys, and the last one. And what I'm actually interested in is this something that just I enjoy personally, or do you prefer the German videos, or do you like some of those? I'm never gonna fully transform this channel into an English YouTube channel. If it ever comes to anything like that, then I would just do 2 separate channels, I assume, because this is my German channel, this is where I started, and that is not going to go away. I promise you that. But I'm just interested in your guys' opinion. If you watch the German content more, do you actually enjoy the English one as well? Is that something that from time to time you'd like to see or not? I'm just asking, because then I might vary how often or how regularly I stray in 1 or 2 German English videos. That is a question. So, but that's it for now. Thanks again for watching the video. There's lots of other stuff on the channel as well. As always, just feel free to pick your poison, whatever suits you best. And we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.